Hey, what's up, DIYers? Mike Bors with the Mike Bors channel. Thank you for watching. We're talking Chrysler Pacificas today. And hey, in the event that your Pacifica has thrown the U1267 error code or fault code, we're going to show you why. Let's take a look. All right, DIYers, here we are in the garage, and on the far end is our 2018 Chrysler Pacifica. And again, we've got a check engine light illuminated on our instrument cluster. Time to hook up the OBD scanner and read the fault code. And here it is. This is my OBD2 scanner, Bosch brand. Down below in the comment section, as well as the description section, will be a link on where to purchase this. DIYers, this is a must-have. Coming back inside the van, DIYers, just ensure that your entire electrical system and start-stop push button is not engaged or turned on, and your screen is black or configured in the off position. Coming below the steering wheel, down near the brake pedal and gas pedal, and coming up, here is your OBD scanner connector port. And I'm going to carefully connect my OBD scanner, and that will automatically turn on my OBD scanner itself. How cool is that? And I'm just going to go through a vehicle diagnostic. Coming into a closer view, and I'll select enter. And auto ID, which I'm going to do. Please turn the key off for 10 seconds, then turn the key on, and it's already off. What I'll do now is just carefully come up to the push button and press it, and come back down below and press enter. And it is now working to communicate with the onboard computer. And what I did next was actually get inside the vehicle to close the door to alleviate all of that beeping. And we've got a link error, check connections. I'll do that now. And the quick test results come up with one OBD2/EOBD, and all the way to the right you can see one code. Let's select enter, and we can see U1267, no DTC definition found, see service manual. Alright, DIYers, we are now inside on the computer, and we have done some research on this exact fault code, U1267. And what we have found is this actually triggers when the transmission control module, also known as TCM, is not getting the proper signals from the electronic shifter module, also known as ESM. And what that is the selector knob inside your vehicle, and in our case located on the center control panel with all the push buttons for your heat, as well as the auto start push button, your hazard light push button, and traction control push button. And when you press the brake and start your engine, that selector knob allows you to cycle through all of the transmission settings or configurations, which include park, reverse, neutral, drive, and low. Again, all configuration settings or positions within your transmission. And in our case, and chances are your case as well, because you're watching this video and you've got the U1267 fault code, that electronic shifter module or selector knob that cycles through again all of your transmission configurations or settings is not communicating properly with the transmission control module. And because of that, this fault code, again, U1267, has triggered and illuminated our check engine light. In addition to the research we have read, not only figuring out why it's doing it, we have also figured out the reset procedure, and we're going to show you that now. Alright, DIYers, back inside the garage to the Chrysler Pacifica. What I'm going to do next is hop inside the vehicle. I'm going to start the engine and cycle through all of the transmission settings by use of that selector knob or control knob. And I'm hoping to get the two modules to recommunicate and shut off the check engine light. Alright, DIYers, back inside the vehicle. I've got the camera position looking directly at our push button control panel. And I've got my key fob. I'm pressing on the brake down below. I will press the engine start stop push button until the engine starts. And the engine is up and running. At this point you can see that the park is illuminated with the blue light. And up top I also see the letter P above our fuel quantity registration. And back down to the brake pedal, I'm going to push and hold with a friendly amount of pressure, not too hard, but not too light. And at that point, I'm going to move the selector knob from park to reverse and continue holding on that brake. And at this point, you can see my rear camera turn on and activate, and the light above the R is illuminated. Coming back up to the instrument cluster, the P has transitioned to an R. I'll have this in reverse for maybe 10 seconds, and at that point, I will go to neutral. Again, holding that constant friendly pressure on the brake pedal so the vehicle doesn't move. And at this point, the light just above the N or neutral is illuminated, and up top on the instrument cluster, the R has transitioned to an N. And again, 10-second intervals or so in between each setting. Now to drive. Again, constant pressure on that brake so the vehicle does not move. The light above the letter D is illuminated, and on the instrument cluster, the N has transitioned to a D. And still nothing yet. The check engine light is still on, which tells us the two modules aren't really communicating with each other, but everything's working as designed. Now from drive to low, and in order to actually get from drive to low, you must push and hold and simultaneously shift the selector knob to the right, and at the same time adding that friendly pressure down below on the brake pedal. So as you can see, this selector knob pushes in and out. See that? And right now if I tried to go too low, it will not move. Do not break it or force it. That would not be good. Again, push down and simultaneously turn it to the right. And you will notice the selector knob did not spring load back out, and that is proper configuration for that selector knob in the low configuration for the transmission. And the blue light above the L or low is illuminated, and on the instrument cluster, the D has transitioned to an L. And again for about 10 seconds. And after 10 seconds, I'm going to carefully shift back through all of the transmission settings one at a time. Not fast, and I'll do that now. And notice it's spring loaded out. We are no longer in the low. Now to neutral. Now to reverse. Now to park. And verify P is illuminated, which it is. Come up top, and the P is present on our instrument cluster. I'm going to carefully release the pressure from the brake pedal. And DIYers, at this point, hopefully that helps you get your two modules reconfigured so they can communicate properly and as designed. Well, unfortunately for us, it's just not the case. Our check engine light is still on. So what we are going to do now is shut the engine off. We are going to open up the hood, and we are going to go out inside the engine compartment and disconnect the black negative cable from the main primary or larger battery. In our case, we have two. We've got a large primary battery, and we've got a small auxiliary battery. We are going to leave the small jet ski style or size or motorcycle size battery alone, and we are going to again disconnect the black negative cable from the battery and leave disconnected for 5 minutes. And that is going to allow our system to perform a full reset. Outside the vehicle now and standing in front of the vehicle, and I've got the hood open and we are looking inside the engine compartment. Got the hood properly prepped up as you see there. And what a big, unfriendly, unnecessary, sloppy stain on the top of our engine. And DIYers, I took our vehicle to the professional dealership for an oil change. And this is what happened. They are the professionals. They should not make mistakes like that, but whatever. I've grabbed my Craftsman 1/4 inch ratchet and an extension with the deep 10mm socket. And coming to this portion of our engine compartment, you will find your larger primary battery, and then you will find your smaller jet ski size or motorcycle size auxiliary battery. We're gonna leave that alone. Come to this section of the primary battery, and you can see this is our black negative cable secured to the terminal, and we are going to grab that 10mm socket and ratchet and unscrew this 10mm nut right there and pull this entire housing off that terminal. And a quick reposition of the camera. Again, we have a close-up view now of the black negative cable housing that secures to the negative terminal of the battery. And careful as you do this, I'm going to loosen up that 10mm nut, and you don't actually have to remove it all the way, just loosen it up. And once it's loose, just carefully lift up, and you may need to shift and rotate the terminal ever so slightly until you can pull that entire housing up and off the terminal and push it all the way over in a way where it's not going to actually hop back up and make direct contact with the terminal. And again, we're just going to leave this disconnected for a minimum of 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we will resecure it. All right, DIYers, we are back with you from a 5-minute break. Again, allowing that system to reset, and we are going to carefully lift up this housing and resecure it to that negative terminal of the battery. And use caution, as well as be aware that you will see a spark. That is normal. Just keep your fingers as far away from it as possible and push it down and flush as you can. Come in with the ratchet and socket and tighten it in place. And do not over tighten it, but you do want it snug. From here, just take a moment, double check that the harness is properly secured to the negative terminal of the battery. And if all looks good, let's hop back inside the vehicle and start the engine, and hopefully the check engine light will go out. All right, DIR is back inside the vehicle. I'm going to apply some friendly pressure to the brake pedal, and I've got my key fob present, and I'm going to start the engine start stop push button. And the engine will start. And again, we are looking for the check engine light. Check that out. It's already gone out. And our tire pressure looks like it needs some attention. Our current odometer mileage is 70,471 miles. So in the event that this is happening to you in that range of odometer or mileage, hey, you're not the only one. And from here, I'm going to allow the engine to run for about 5 minutes and see if that check engine light comes on. I will monitor it over the next week or so. And in addition, I need to put air inside the tires. And in our case, 2018 Chrysler Pacifica, it calls for 36 PSI in each tire. We'll do that now. In DORs, as you can see, we have come to a complete stop. We just did a few miles of driving, and all illuminated lights on the instrument cluster have gone out, including the check engine light and advisory messages that alerted us that our tire pressure was low. In DORs, that puts us in a good mood. We are going to monitor it again over the next week or two, and if it comes back, we will address it. However, in our case, it just looks like it was a glitch in the system between the two modules and they were not communicating with each other. However, with our system reset, it is all back configured properly. Take a step back again, DIYers. We hope this helps. Hey, do us a favor below the video. You will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. Also, down below in the comments and description, you will find several helpful video links on our Pacifica that you may find helpful. Definitely check those out. Let us know if you have any questions.